Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's Juan Solo here with ASQD Gaming, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in today for some more Ghost Recon Wildlands. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the newly announced and final DLC coming to Ghost Recon Wildlands, and this is the new Mercenaries mode that is going to be coming tomorrow. As of recording this video, today is July 17th. This DLC is releasing on July 18th, and there's some really cool new features, some new mechanics, and all sorts of cool things that are going to be in this new game mode. And like I said, this is going to be the final DLC with Ghost Recon Wildlands, being the fact that Breakpoint is releasing in only a couple of months. There's still going to be bug fixes and maintenance and stuff like that, but this is going to be the final real actual DLC for the game itself that's been out for almost 2.5 years. And honestly, I really enjoyed my time on Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I'm really excited about this new game mode. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video. So Mercenaries is an 8-player free-for-all PVE PvP gameplay experience. So there's going to be PvP as well as PvE aspects in this game mode. So your objective is to call for a rescue, locate and reach the extraction point, and be the first to board the helicopter. So this actual game mode is going to take place in 3 different phases. So at the beginning of the match, your extraction point is unknown, and you will have no weapons, no gear or items, and all you're going to have is your melee weapon. So you will need to locate and activate radio transmitters to shrink the possible extraction zone on your map. So in order to locate the transmitters, you're going to need to find an intel marker, and after interacting with that intel, you will have 3 choices to gain an advantage through the position of a transmitter and a randomly determined selection of the following. So you will actually get the transmitter itself, and then you will have the ability to reveal the position of enemy players for a limited amount of time. You can also get the position of rare items like gear and weapons, or you can get the position of a vehicle. So those are the 3 things that you can get also with the transmitter itself. So after you use the intel or a transmitter, you will not be able to use it again, but your opponents will be able to use that one if they haven't already. So during this phase, you will need to compete with other players and face Unidad soldiers to locate the transmitters, as well as you're going to need to find gear and weapons to give yourself a competitive edge over the other players. So once you actually activate all 3 transmitters, you will reveal the exact position of the extraction point, and you will gain 1 out of the 5 segments needed to fill your extraction gauge and board the helicopter. So it's not necessarily a race, because you are still required to fill an actual bar that will actually allow you to board the helicopter. So think of it as sort of like a percentage. So you need to fill that bar up 100%. If you complete 3 transmitters, it's going to give you 20% of that bar. So those are all things that are going to happen sort of in the first phase of this game mode. So the second phase of this mode is the helicopter deployment. So when you've actually activated the 3 transmitters, the helicopter will start flying to the extraction point, and when the helicopter actually lands, the location will be revealed to all players, whether they have actually activated transmitters or not. So depending on your strategy, you can use the intel to get better gear, reveal enemy player locations, or gather 3 transmitters yourself to begin filling your extraction gauge before reaching the helicopter. So you can play it a number of different ways. You can go strictly for loot and let somebody else find the transmitters and reveal the location of the helicopter, or you can go for the transmitters yourself, but it's going to give you that leg up when it comes to the extraction gauge, because once you actually gather 3 transmitters, it's going to fill up the part of that gauge. The other people that go strictly for weapons will have to fill up that extra bar, but they may have better gear than you. So phase 3 is the extraction. So once you've actually reached the extraction point, you're going to need to fill up the gauge to actually board the helicopter, and the gauge can be filled by staying in a set area around the helicopter itself. So this gauge will have checkpoints. So like I said, if you for instance fill it up to 20%, 40%, something like that, it's going to have 5 checkpoints in that actual filling of the bar. So if you get to a certain mark and then you leave the area, or you kind of disappear or something trying to get away from enemy players or something like that, it's not going to go all the way back to 0. It's going to go back to one of those checkpoints that you actually reached with the actual gauge. So also the helicopter will not extract if there are other players in the area, so you'll have to use your best tactics to keep the other mercenaries out when your gauge is full. So with this brand new game mode, we're going to have brand new mechanics coming to Ghost Recon Wildlands. A lot of these are going to be showcased in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So loot and gear. So when you actually spawn in a match, you will be equipped with nothing but your melee weapon, and it'll be up to you to find the best gear, weapons, and consumables to fight enemy players and the Unidad forces. So located around the map and on military bases, there will be caches where you are able to find everything from sniper rifles and flashbangs to armored vests and healing syringes, and if you die, you're going to lose all of the loot you gathered and start at square one when you respawn. So think of it as sort of like a battle royale, because you do actually have to go around and loot things to kind of make your character better, but if you die, you're going to lose all that. So this isn't strictly a PvP, because this is Ghost Recon Wildlands, so good tactics will always be rewarded. Utilizing the transmitter system, exploring the map, and infiltrating Unidad bases for loot will give you plenty of opportunities to get back in the game, even if you die. So some other new mechanics that are going to be seen for the first time in Ghost Recon Wildlands are armor and health. So Mercenaries will have a new health and armor system similar to how it's going to be in Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Breakpoint. So based on your gear you pick up, an armor bar will appear. This bar will actually absorb a percentage of damage based on the penetration capability of your opponent's weapon. So if you're actually hit by a weapon that deals penetration damage, you're going to start to bleed, and when bleeding begins, you will slowly lose a percentage of your health over time. And if you are injured, you can loot 3 different types of healing items to get back into the fight, and this is a med kit, a bandage, and a syringe. So the med kit restores all health and it'll stop bleeding. Bandages will only stop bleeding, but it's not actually going to restore any of your health, and the syringe will restore health, but it's not going to stop your bleeding. So in Mercenaries, destructible doors can be opened with your actual close quarters weapon, and behind these doors you're going to have the chance to find loot to help you take on other players and the Undead, but you're going to have to think tactically about when you do this, because opponents will be able to hear you break down those doors if they are close by. So it's up to you whether or not you want to actually weigh the risk against the rewards in all of these scenarios with Mercenaries. So now moving on to the rewards that we're actually going to receive for playing this game mode. So the first reward is just for completing your first game. So this is actually going to be the Walker costume that they were bringing to the Operation Oracle DLC. All you have to do is complete 1 game of this new Mercenaries game mode, and you're going to unlock the Walker costume. So this is a costume, so your face and everything of your character will stay, but the full outfit that Walker had in the Operation Oracle DLC will be yours to put on your character. Now that is not the only reward that you're actually going to get by playing this game mode. So if you actually win a round of the new Mercenary game mode, you're going to get a Mercenary patch to put on your character. If you get 3 wins, you're going to get the Mercenary pants. If you get 5 wins, you're going to get the Mercenary heavy vest. If you get 10 wins, you're going to get the Mercenary army jacket. If you get 15 wins, you're going to get the Mercenary heavy vest with shoulder pads. And if you get 25 wins in the new Mercenaries game mode, you're going to get the Mercenary backpack. So me personally, I'm really excited for this mode because this sounds like an awesome mode to kind of tie us over until Ghost Recon Breakpoint, because there is a lot of cool features in this mode that are going to be coming in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So we're going to be kind of getting our first taste of those new mechanics, as well as being the fact that we're going to be able to gather loot, go up against other players, as well as have PVE content in there as well. What more could you ask for a send-off, a final DLC for Ghost Recon Wildlands? But that is pretty much going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, you guys are excited about the new Mercenary game mode coming to Ghost Recon Wildlands, make sure to drop a like on the video, and also subscribe if you are new, if you would like to stay up to date on the latest news surrounding Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Ghost Recon Wildlands moving forward. But that is all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out.